Cheers and welcome my friends, I'm Horath and we are playing Tyranny as a noble mage, or rather as an Archon, even something more than an Archon, since Graven Ash and Tunon have bowed to me and sworn allegiance to our character, which is interesting. And Blood Mark has just appeared after Tunon has declared his fealty and has said that he will have none of it, that he has orders from Kairos to kill us. And well, we'll see who wins. Tunon has declared this a legal fight, so I guess I have to prove my claims with my might. I think we'll just do that. So let's get into this and let's finish it. If he won't bow to me, I guess he has to die. Right. So what's he doing? Shadow Bond. Sounds alright. Let's go for this. Let's slow him down. I will go ahead and try to do this. Sirin, maybe you can hit him with a jolt. And you, I wouldn't mind if he were to drown. That should stop him from casting. Action! Guys, chop chop! Okay. I grazed him. The electric jolt missed him. That's all kind of annoying. He's immune to frost. Alright, let's send some fire his way. Let's give me the healing aura. Sirin, send some proning his way. And well, can you push him away? I guess not. Let's go for that one then. That one. What's happening? Come on, attack the guy. Oh, he's gone. Okay, immune to prone. He's stunned though. No, well, I'm gonna cast myself with haste then. Come on, guys. Okay, so I guess we can't target him when he does that ability. It does look like that. Not a problem though, don't worry. We'll get to it. So I'm just gonna queue up everything that I have. Go for that, 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 and that one. Lantry. What can we do with you? I could render Judgment, Watcher's Judgment. Will paralyze the target and spell breach them, lowering their non-physical armor. Might not be a bad idea. Let's try it. And Ebb. Yeah, I doubt that the Theratos Call will work, but we could try it. And Sirin, we'll just wait until you're done. Well, let's maybe send some damage his way. Just like this, and like that maybe.
As you command.
Okay, so he's now spell breached, I think. Yeah, -5 armor, frost, fire, arcane, and shock. It's only 13 seconds though, so it's not amazing. Lantry, switch back to your staff.
Consider it done.
Okay, right, so that's fine. Yeah, move that one away. We're gonna stand right next to me. And I guess we'll just have to queue up all our spells. Do this, do this, do this. I never thought Blood and Mark would be that loyal to Kairos, actually. Gotta say, I'm kind of surprised. But I guess if you are the headsman for a couple 100 years, then you see the kind of reward that traitors get, I guess. Okay, we can't target him anymore. That's annoying. He's immune to being stunned. Yeah, that's all very annoying, I gotta say. What can I do with my things over here? I got a couple of things that I could do. I could go for Withering Touch. So yeah, if it's already right next to me, why not? Lantry. Could go for the Gift of Moments. I'll definitely give myself the Erase the Records. That might be good. And then, for some reason, I have to queue these up again. Just keep them in mind, you fools. Every time he vanishes, they forget what they wanted to do. And they can't be trusted to use them against him reliably. Let's go for the Aria of Nightmares with him. Come on, Aria of Nightmares. Needs to happen. Okay, he's weakened now, that's good. So, what else do I have? I do have the Spurting Blood. I think we'll go for that one. That's nice. I think, yeah, let's queue up all these things. Pepper him with some damaging spells here. And that one as well, why not? Come on guys, chop chop. Deliver the damage. Okay, that happened. Looks like he's frozen. I wonder, I thought he was immune to cold damage. That's kind of surprising. What's that? Favor of the Fatebinder. Allied, not self-target, shielded for 80 damage for 30 seconds. That's fine. And Magic Seal. Oh, foe target versus will. Silence affliction for 30 seconds. We'll go for that one. Silence him.
On it.
Okay, we've got a Nightmare. Nightmare is coming after him. Now, what else can I do? I could try to Petrify. That also does some crush damage. Blast of Confusion. Raise Final Scream into the air and unleash a chaotic explosion of energy. Yeah, why not? Let's do it. Come on! Okay, that didn't do too well. Let's go for the staff. And I'll go for this one. Let's go for the Empowered Chaos. That's gonna be fine. The others are still casting. Okay, that looks good. He got stunned. Anything else that I can do? Refuse Pain. Removes the random hostile effect. Oh yeah, I should have kept that in mind. Energy Shield. Yeah, let's give myself the Energy Shield if I'm engaged by him. Why not? Okay, and then I guess I have to queue up some more damaging spells here. Let's go for that one. Siren. We have lots of damaging spells that you need to use. Because you're not clever enough to do it on your own.
I'll do it right away.
And I don't think I have anything left here. Well, I could try to go for the aspect of Nightmares. I doubt that he can be terrified. I mean, I think other people would be terrified of him. Weapon ineffective. No. Embodied Nightmare, that's him. I just grazed him, which means I did nothing. Yeah, alright then. Could go for this. Oh, I didn't rest for the Steadfast Stand. That's shitty. Oh, let's go for the Champion's Boon then. Okay. Is he vanishing again? I don't know. No, yeah, we can't target him. That's annoying. Okay, he's silenced because Lantry hit him with his weapon. I'll take this one. Okay. And then I think we'll just have to pepper him with our weapons. With our spells. I guess there's no real way out there. Let's go for that one. Let's go for that one. And would it be kind of nice if we would summon someone? I don't know if he can. But I really wouldn't take it amiss if that were to happen. Yeah, you got a bunch of spells back up, so I want you to see to it that you use them. Siren, well, we could go for another Aria. Let's go for the Aria of Storms. That's going to do some damage here.
From the record.
Come on, guys. Okay. He's dazed. Stunned. Okay, Siren could do some more things, so let's go for this. Let's go for that. Let's go for that. Let's go for this. Let's go for this.
If you think it will help.
Oh, and Lantry is done. Oh, and he took a wound. That's shitty. Well, let's try to reduce him and his speed.
Admit that from the record.
That's pretty nice. Oh, yes! He actually did pull some of these guys now. What are you? Creature of Darkness. Okay. That seems to be fun. Let's see what these guys do with some of this, with some stones here. That sounds nice. These guys are screaming like little girls. So let's go for that one, and then that one, and then that one. Yeah, he's gonna die because he did that. Yeah. I guess he surrendered. That was a stupid move, Mark. Well, I guess he couldn't have anticipated that, but if he'd seen me fight the voices of Horath, he should have known that summoning someone is not a good idea. Golden glowering eyes, wide with surprise, the Archon tumbles to the ground, coughing blood as dark as the shadows that billow and ebb around him. He clutches at his shattered ribs and grins.
Look at you. The surprise of a lifetime.
He gasps, drowning as his lungs fill with blood. The light in his eyes dims as his pupils seep blackness, expanding to fill the whole of his eyes. A look of meaning passes between you, his fingers digging into the ground.
Don't die too easily. Won't look good for me.
Alright, I gained Wrath with Tune on. Not sure why, but oh well.
This brightness is blinding.
And he's down. Master.
If you'll join me upstairs, I will pledge fealty to you in the lawful manner.
Yes, by all means. I defeated Bled and Mark, which increased my power apparently. Where are we in terms of power level? 1885. And I have to accept Tunon's fealty. Right, let's take that. Let's save it, because why not? Let's see what these guys have to say. Hello. Good on you for sparing Ash. A little mercy goes a long way in these troubled times. Wield him like the weapon that he is, but wield him with care. He's older and more brittle than he looks. I know that I will sleep easier with the voices of Horath dispatched. Whenever he visited the court, I got the impression that his adherence to law was some perverse joke that only he understood. Come, let us speak freely. How do you think the court will fare without Bled and Mark? For all of its wisdom, the court places too much emphasis on fear and paranoia to keep legal precedent in check. It will be interesting to see how we navigate this new world you've carved out for us. The court does not lack for teeth and claws when needed, but for now, our shadowy blade is gone. Alright. What do you have to say? Try and keep Ash on the short leash. I think the old man likes knowing his constraints, and no one sets limitations more efficiently than Kairos. But I think you'll manage. I have my doubts that the voices of Horath is dead. That just seems like something you would have planned for a long time ago. You sure you got the right Archon? Kaleo shrugs. What can I do for you? How do you think the court will fare without Bled and Mark? The court ought to learn the lesson that the Empire already knows. Everyone is replaceable. As long as we keep that in mind, I'm not so worried about the court. Her lips curl in a knowing smile. Maybe she will be the next Bled and Mark. She already has the look of a person of darkness, and she also seems to have the same sort of twisted humor. Alright, what about you? If you must hold on to Ash, keep him in line. Just remember that you are the third master to whom he's sworn his life and fealty. Better for all our sakes that the voices of Horath left this world. I always thought that Kairos used him to thin the herd, and that anyone in the hierarchy was fair game. Speculation, of course. Look as if you have questions for me to untangle. Ask, I'm feeling generous. Well, I'm feeling generous as well, dude. How do you think the court will fare without Bled and Mark? Better than ever, I hope. Without the dependable aid of an unkillable assassin, I'm sure we'll stumble along the way. The court itself will have to be stronger if it expects to survive, and that sort of change is always welcome. Right, I concur. Let's save it, and let's accept the fealty of Tunon. That's amazing. I like it. Lantry took a wound, but other than that, we didn't really look too bad in that fight, I think. Even though we're playing on hard difficulty. I wonder if Path of the Damned is any more difficult. I guess it is.
Archon, change has come to the Tears, and in time it will reach the Empire itself. You are the agent of that change, and even I could not have predicted what impossible heights you would reach.
Yes.
The time has come to take up the gavel and usher in a new age of structure and law to the Tears.
Yes. That looks rather official.
You will henceforth define justice for the rest of us. I will follow your lead and endeavor to follow your design.
Your loyalty and confidence are appreciated.
As the ruling Archon of the Tears, I submit to your authority and thank you for bringing order out of chaos.
Right. Bow down. Ooh. Tunon himself is coming down and
Go
bowing.
and represent the strength of law. Be the example the Tears require, the force that keeps them together, and the hope for their future under one rule.
Alright.
Let your justice know no mercy but that which you impose. Civilization itself will bend according to your design. Never forget this.
I won't. Alright, what now?
I am grateful to stand in your loyal service, Archon, but there is a shadow over these proceedings.
Tunon hesitates as it regards you, suddenly fearful.
Though you have proven yourself greater than the other Archons, Kairos is not satisfied. She sends a legion of expert soldiers
Really?
marching on the Tears as we speak, their war songs calling for your death.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess it had to come to that. What would you recommend, Tunon?
Power begets power. A demonstration aimed at Kairos herself would give her a reason to regroup and consider her options. It would have to be a display of incredible proportions.
Okay. An edict proclaimed on the Northern Empire should do the trick. Can I do that? I thought I could only use the spires on the Tears. Well, maybe not.
Yes, destruction on that scale might serve your purpose. The North will tremble under your forceful hand. Return to the mountain spire and see your will given shape and consequence. Show Kairos the face of true power.
Yes. And I guess that'll set me free. The thing is, I never really pledged fealty to Kairos, I don't think. Well, I guess through Tunon I did. I accepted Tunon's fealty. Nice. Hello. He's not gonna say anything. He's uninjured. The army's in the north. It has come to your attention that Kairos has made good on his threat. Armies march from the north with only one goal, the utter annihilation of the Tears. Fortunately, you have the resonator at the Vendrian's well spire at your disposal. With it, you have the power to issue an edict and disrupt the Northern Kingdom. The final victory may yet be yours. Alright. It's kind of... I mean... It's weird that it would say... that Kairos would say, yeah, only one Archon may survive. And then he's gonna... or she's gonna send in the army anyways. But I guess that was just to try and cut us down, and then I guess you want to make an example out of the last person standing, force us down, maybe even take us into her service, like she did with Graven Ash long ago. Let's save it here, and let's see what these guys have to say. Do you have anything to say that Tunon has bowed to me? Compelled the adjudicator himself to kneel, did you? Rogulus grins. Impressive work. The last person who did that. Well, enough said. Alright, that's interesting. What do you have to say? I don't know what's more impressive. That Tunon humbled himself before you, or that you managed to get so deep under his skin. I've tried baiting him into arguments in the past for my own amusement, but you've made an occupation out of it. Right, yeah, she definitely has the same humor, I take it, as Bled and Mark. So, you convinced even mighty Tunon to bow and accept your version of justice. Best of luck assuming your new title, Horath Drak. I cannot say I will follow you to whatever ends you propose, but I will observe and judge in my own course. That sounds like treason, dude. Watch it. Come, let us speak freely. Yeah.
Right.
That's what you say. Okay, yeah, I guess we have to return to the spire, so let's do that. What's over here? What do we get? Final Scream. Oh yeah, Final Scream level up to the max. Use the artifact's power, defeated a powerful enemy, you equipped it. Right, so it actually does improve even if you only have it in your secondary slot. That's interesting. Okay, didn't know that. That's nice. So you can sort of passively level stuff up until you need it. Yeah, I would actually like to talk to Ash before I do this. Maybe he has something to say. Maybe we can defend with the disfavored. Yes, I can use my powers. I do have the power to wreak havoc with the edicts, but if I don't have to use that power, I won't. I want to spare the power until I actually need it. Although this might be the point in time where that needs to happen, where there's no other choice. But let's have a talk and see what he advises. I took the advice of Tunon. I think I'll take the advice of my other vassal as well. Come up, guys. Chop chop. Hello. What do you have to say? Ash stands taller and regards you with a respectful bow. Archon, an honor, as always. Okay. Yeah, right. So he has nothing to say to me. That's a bit of a shame. I have fast mode activated, so it shouldn't take too long. I guess there's nothing else then. I would have liked to maybe talk tactics with him. I mean, if I were to send the disfavored over here, we could sort of try to take the same defensive stance as we once did. Well, maybe not. Maybe it would be futile. I don't know. Maybe we have to go for the edict. It's gonna kill a lot of people, though, I guess. Just that's one of the biggest problems that I have with the Justice of the Overlord. It just kills indiscriminately. Okay, I have to issue an edict. Well, Beric, what have you to say?
You have something which requires my attention?
Beric salutes as he turns to greet you. Yeah,
what can I do for you?
Your lord swore fealty to me. Tell me about the disfavored. Fair ironclads. The massive beast woman hacks and spits at the ground. Come. Tell Beast Woman all about lumbering prey that bleeds rivers but still defies death twice and 3 times from Beast Woman's killing claws. Right, he's not gonna say anything. Well, let's ask about Graven Ash. Is the oldest of ironclads. Is fat alpha with grey fur. Yep. Laves pain away to protect pack. Beric glares at Kills in Shadow. Yeah, he's not gonna say anything new. Okay, that's fine. Sirin, what say you?
If it isn't the savior of the tears, what are you gonna ask me to do now?
She purses her lips and exhales dismissively.
What do you need?
Yeah, I'm a bit sad that I couldn't get on her good side. Let's say what Verse has to say. Hello. Fatebinder. I never thought that anyone could get that jump on the voices of Horath. He outlasted most of his enemies and ate the others. He was this great, bottomless thing. I just assumed that he would be around forever. And now he's dead. It's hard to believe, really. I'm happy, but he also gave me this life, this name. I hated him, but he was incredible. An artist. That's kind of a sick thought. What I'm trying to say here is that I'm impressed. You've exceeded my low expectations. Do you think the Voices is really dead? If we're being honest with each other, I have my doubts. The Voices could scheme 1,000 steps ahead of anyone. I can only imagine that he had something planned for his death, some contingency. It would be so complex that we might never recognize it if we saw it. It might not even happen in our lifetimes, if we're lucky. Anything new?
What do you need?
No, I can just take her with me. I guess I never did that again after leaving her. And yeah, what about kills and shadows? Maybe she has something to say. Alpha. The beast woman snarls. Kills in shadow must speak with Alpha. Now. Am clever hunter. Can reason why pack would need to kill one tribe of beast woman. Weakest but largest tribe. To best human prima called Kairos. But Shadow Hunter wants to know, needs to know now, that pack's slaughtering of beast women will not continue. I understand why you might be worried, but I have no reason to slaughter the other tribes. It's true? Fatebinder is not lying? She huffs a breath of relief even as she eyes you wearily. Against her better judgment, she wants to trust you. Alpha to kills in shadow would not think to ruthlessly hunt beast women extinct, and would not think Alpha could survive Bulwark's own fury and fangs. Once beast woman realized humans' plan. At the threat, she cracks her spindly knuckles, claws curving against the palm of her hand. They bite into the calloused skin until her fist drips blood. So she's the Bulwark. Yeah, because I'm the Alpha. I don't have an agenda to exterminate the beast tribes, trust me. She snuffs at the space between you, curling her lips back to draw a rush of air over her tongue. Tasting for your possible lie. Finally, she bobs her head, satisfied. Have seen Alpha accomplish many impossible feats. Have seen strength to rival Archons that hunt for beast woman. So Shadow Hunter will submit to Fatebinder. For longer. For now. Okay. I want to talk about things. Alpha needs only to speak. Bulwark will listen. Had any good hunts lately?
Good, yep. And many more than 5.
The beast woman flexed and curls her claws in the air, the pitch blackness of them suddenly striking. A stark reminder of their power, their ability to kill.
Found pack of rot-smelling chorus in Apex lands. Humans tried to scamper flee on sight, but beast woman was already in full sprint. Legs were pumping, blood was surging fast, heart throb. Flicked claws and slashed through backs, ears filled with screams.
She pants happily at the memory, tongue lolling between her teeth.
Was fun for beast woman.
Right, I guess. I mean, I don't mind her killing Scarlet Chorus people in the Apex, because that's my land.
Fatebinder wants beast woman?
The reek of an unwashed feral animal. Oh yeah, we already read that. Sways you like a wet blanket and you breathe through your mouth to keep you from retching. Happy that I rescued Left Claw?
Yep. Fatebinder is good alpha to kills in shadow. Listens to beast women's demands like all males should. Must like beast woman to fight for former pack whelp.
She chuffs and shakes her head. She pants and scratches the back of her mane, hunching forward, closer to you, her breath puffing hot against your neck. Her dark pink tongue lolls, dripping drool on your shoulder as she grins.
Beast woman too likes Fatebinder.
Yeah, let's not go there. How's it looking? Yeah, she's sort of loyal to me. Level 3. I guess that's fine. Well, never mind. I guess she doesn't have to say anything more. What do you say, Corpse Eye? Well, take my name and call me Bastard Born. Do these eyes deceive me, or has the Fatebinder come to visit old Corpse Eye? The Scarlet Chorus member bows to you in mockery and disdain. Yeah, Scarlet Chorus still doesn't quite dislike me. At level 6, which is kinda odd since I killed their leader and destroyed everything they fought for. But oh well. Right, so let's save it and let's go for this. The waves of energy radiating from the spire draw you forward, pressing your body and mind to its eager embrace. At the center of this tide, the resonator stands ready to broadcast your voice, echoing your commandments to the farthest reaches of the tiers and beyond. From here, the highest point in all the peninsula, you could, with the sum total of your effort, project your will far north, past the edges of the tiers, and proclaim your edict as far as the lands of the Northern Empire. I'm gonna mutter something gently and test the resonator. Your words are barely perceptible over the wind until the first peal of echoes ricochets back from the valley's mountainous ring, at which point the echo makes further speaking a bit confusing. The actual definition of your words are lost in the echo, but a sonorous flood of your voice fills the valley with the sound of a distant thunderclap. That reminds me, actually, that whole thing reminds me of Saruman in the first of the Lord of the Ring films, the Fellowship of the Ring. Saruman brings down snow and other storm things when the Fellowship tries to cross over the Caradhras mountain, and Saruman forces them down by standing on his tower on the Orthanc and singing, summoning the weather to rain hard down on them, and that forces them then to go into the mines of Moria. That is kind of the same, the power of the voice being sort of transported by Aspire. Interesting. Guess that must have been the inspiration for this? Maybe not. Whether or not your precise wording is audible at the target of your edict is merely a matter of whether or not your victims need to know. So long as your voice can touch the realm, your will shall be enacted. This probably amounts to a declaration of war against the Overlord. Ready? How do you like that? We've made it all this way. Time to put the last nail in the coffin of Kairos' conquest. Go and make your stand. I'm ready. You've earned it. Following your progress has been, well, one of the great pleasures of my career. You've shown yourself to be something greater than even I expected. I had rather self-indulgent fantasies of being the primary authority on the world's most fascinating figure. I'm eager to see wherever this takes us, my friend. You've done great things to get here. Just imagine what you could do if you continued on this vein. Show Kairos what we do to tyrants. I'm ready to stand at your side and see it through. This will be an opening strike. Perhaps the Tiers will conquer the Northern Empire. If this ends with the Overlord's ribcage fashioned into an elaborate war staff, I'm with you on that. The people of the Tiers will never be left alone by the other Archons. The moment we stop fighting is the moment we lose what we've earned thus far. The Spire awaits your command. Okay. Oh yeah, I've only the choice of... This is the Northern Empire? This is the Bastard City. Well, I guess it's sort of the link between. Okay, so... Edict of Fire, plus 15 to all magical skills. I do have plenty of power to do this. Oh, I have 2,685 power? That's interesting. Got the Edict of Stone. A stone curse plagues the region. Blood, flesh, and nature begin to harden. No, we'll go for normal Edict of Stone. That's fine. Torrential rain plaguing the land, increasing the power of shock spells and lowers the effectiveness of fire spells. Let's go for it. I think that might kill the least amount of people. Maybe the stone spell would. But the earthquakes are sort of difficult. Let's go for this. Issue the edict. And the edict must have some sort of sense as well, because it only strikes my enemies with lightning. Maybe if they give up, they won't be stricken. Oh yes. I really like this. This is very well done. Alright, what now? Casting the Edict of Storms wreaks havoc on the northern capital. The winds whip in a sudden frenzy and toss unsuspecting citizens through the air, dashing them back in the rubble of leveled buildings. Temporary settlements take in refugees fleeing the devastation from the now uninhabitable city. Survivors all ask the same question: why did the Overlord allow this to happen? As chaos ensued in the northern kingdoms, the armies marching on the tiers received an unprecedented order. The armies were to fall back to the capital and ensure the safety of its people from the edict. For the first time in Kairos' great conquest, the armies retreated. Soon, questions would be asked in a hushed breath across the lands about what new and terrible power had emerged that could force the hand of the Overlord. You fulfilled Kairos' decree, and all the tiers is now ruled by a single Archon. Your former rivals have either submitted to you or perished, bringing the civil war to a close. Yes, okay. Is this the end? The Scarlet Chorus may have been mighty in numbers, but that didn't stop you from thoroughly scattering them, cutting off the serpent's head and sending each of the gangs howling back to the chaos they sowed. How the remnants of the Horde occupy themselves without a war to fight becomes a topic for nightmares. It was thought the disfavored would never rally under another general, but by enlisting Graven Ash to your cause, you managed the next best thing, controlling the Archon to harness the strength of the Northern Empire. You reorganized their old-fashioned regiments with a new chain of command, placing yourself at its highest authority. The Legion's victories spread beyond count, and your soldiers trained hard, preparing for the retaliation to come. I'm really happy I got these guys. Under your guidance, those who resisted the conquest and sowed discontent are vanquished, their rebellion brought to a decisive end. Any lingering question of who is true ruler of the tiers is answered by your impact on the reconstructed nation. Word of your success spreads beyond the tiers as well. Even the most distant corners of the Empire whisper of the Fatebinder, who rose to become an Archon, and an Archon whose intervention shattered the conquest, making way for a new future in the devastated nation. Uniting the tiers under the banner of the disfavored was never your directive, and yet you performed it admirably, consolidating the Overlord's forces under your rule and grooming the tiers for their place in a new order. The same people who once hurled curses across a siege soon learned to think of themselves as part of a greater whole, extending beyond their modest borders. With the Edict of Stone dispelled, the earth around the Stone Sea finally settles, leading everyone to believe the realm of Azure will return to its former glory. But the ritual used to end the edict blighted the land to such a degree that nothing will grow, no matter how hard anyone tries. With determination, some are able to start small seedlings, but nothing ever comes of it. The memory of Kern as a great force of destruction remains as a momentum of inert rock. Most agree that the world is better off without the Archon of Stone, as the people of Azure begin to slowly reclaim the land that was once torn asunder by his power. As the strongest and eldest of their kind, the death of the Stone Stalkers is a blow to Beastman culture. Their demise also brings centuries of oral traditions to an abrupt end. The local tribes never recover from the terrible loss. With Kern's essence preserved and the lands of Azure permanently blighted, the Earthshakers return to the disfavored. While their reputation isn't what it used to be, their success in dealing such a decisive blow to the Scarlet Chorus by removing their main source of food has earned back the respect of the Legion. The Earthshakers are accepted back into the ranks of the disfavored, once again becoming part of the army that helped subdue the tiers. Okay, that's nice, that's swelling my ranks. With the Unbroken all but destroyed, the former citizens of Stalwart threaten to slide into lawlessness. Kairos' forces stationed at Sentinel's Stand managed to quell the worst of the uprisings, but peace under the nation's new leadership is resisted at every turn. Amelia returns to Graven Ash's fort at Iron Hearth with her baby, the former heir of Stalwart. Her presence brings unease to the disfavored, who don't know what to make of a circumstantial traitor. How she navigates the future you impose on Territus will be her decision. Though it takes time to recover from the devastation of the Edict of Storms, the Blade Grave begins its slow march toward healing. The realm of Stalwart may never resemble its former glory, but the land is not so blasted that something new and better can't be built atop the bones of the past. The Regent bloodline has ended. With it, new traditions and legacies spring to life. You eliminated the Scarlet Chorus that plagued the disfavored troops in the Vellum Citadel, cutting a path through them all the way to the Silent Archive. Instead of destroying it, as Graven Ash wanted, you chose to keep it for yourself, realizing the knowledge contained in the scroll was far more useful in your hands. By taking the Silent Archive from its pedestal and disrupting the preservation spell holding the Vellum Citadel in stasis, you caused the collapse of the single largest repository of knowledge in Territus. The world may never know the true extent of the loss. The sages are all but wiped from the tiers. What remains of their hoarded knowledge is vulnerable, as likely to be misused as destroyed. The damage done to the intellectual core of the region is likely beyond reversal. Though small groups of would-be scholars gain influence from time to time, the setback is ultimately too vast to overcome. Without your help, the small garrison of Kairos' forces is easily overwhelmed by the Bronze Brotherhood, who are intent on taking the settlement back. It flounders under the control of the Bronze Brotherhood, and what was once a thriving center of commerce for the tiers quickly devolves into a lawless town prowled by mercenary and thugs. Really? That is what I'm supposed to believe? The Archon with the power to cast edicts lets a band of mercenaries just do what they want? If only Graven Ash had sent me there. That's kinda stupid, I don't agree with that thing, but oh well, I guess we gotta take it. By enacting an edict on Vendrian's Well, you announced your power to the world and showed Kairos' forces what you were capable of. When you defeated their leader and scattered the army before you, it sent a message to Kairos. A new Archon is born. While the edict dissipated, its effect will always be felt as the first true threat to Kairos' rule. Graven Ash continues to lead the disfavored, this time bowing to your superior command. At first, the General barks at your instructions, but in time, he grows to trust your judgment without question. Working together, you bring much needed order to the lawless tiers. Killing the voices of Horath spreads the joy of bloody vengeance across the continent. Celebrated as the death of history's greatest parasite, the occasion is marked by all who suffered under the oppression of the Scarlet Chorus. Even in victory, one thought nags you. Though you witnessed his death, you can't help but wonder if the voices of Horath is done with you. Tunon the Adjudicator continues to dispense justice from his seat in the Bastard City. He follows the laws you craft to the letter, advising on any of the meticulous changes you lack the time or the patience to draft. Without his aid, the task of keeping order in the tiers would be nigh impossible. The death of Bled and Mark deprived the world of a most capable murderer. One less bedtime story to scare children is no significant loss, though you can't help but glance at the dark corners of every room and feel as if something is watching you. Bled and Mark will always cast a long shadow on your life. Not content to enjoy the fruits of victory, Beric positions himself among the rank and file of your supporters, organizing troops around their strengths and making sure each pulls their weight. His armor clings to him as doggedly as ever, though he wears it with a straighter back and a lighter step than he did before. A team of loyal camp followers polishes his plates to a respectable sheen each morning, and the smell that escapes his visor has notably improved. Medals of valor decorated his breastplate, and adoring supporters drape garlands of flowers about his pauldrons. Life is good for the towering soldier. Verse finds herself adrift in the relative peace that follows your conquest. She returns to the field and seeks out young women from rural communities, imparting her fighting skills to only the most passionate. Over the course of many apprentices, she follows the voices of Horath's example and forms a personal army, the Callous Sisterhood. Verse proves to be a strict teacher, and you hire her services often, confident that she'll take any assignment where there's blood to be spilled. Lantry keeps a close watch over you, scribbling his account of your deeds and accomplishments. In his tireless quest to fill the chronicle with history and knowledge, he follows you even into his twilight years, and together you learn much about the world. You pretend not to notice Lantry's waning strength, though you find yourself pausing mid-sentence to let his writing catch up. He recognizes your generous ruse and appreciates it in silence. Ab remains in your company, where she seeks out promising recruits among your supporters. After recognizing some obvious talent, she takes on a team of apprentices in a new school of would-be tidecasters. Though she often jokes that the school is bound to fail with her at the helm, her students think otherwise, as do the many dozens of hopefuls who come begging for her tutelage. Kills in Shadow shows little interest in cleaning up the tears after your victory. Instead, she takes it upon herself to hunt down every disfavored soldier that will not submit to your rule. Word gets back to you of maulings and disappearances among Kairos' ranks, perpetuated by a beast of legendary ferocity. Though you could track down your wayward companion, you let her continue the work of her own way, bloody yet effective. No, the disfavored are mine! Sirin grows quiet over time, speaking little and forgoing her songs as she distances herself from your military. One day, she simply walks out of camp and makes for the wilderness of the Tears. Rumors reach your ear that Sirin has occupied an abandoned mountainside temple, her vow of silence drawing a small group of respectful followers. You leave her in peace. Though you once professed loyalty to Kairos, popular belief holds that the world cannot support two overlords, and you now represent a threat to the established order. This leaves your future in question, with but one certainty. When Kairos retaliates, you will be ready. From your perch atop the ancient spire, you can see hints of the Northern Empire, just beyond the mountains. At your command, horns shouted a triumphant cry across the valley, heralding the end of one long campaign and the beginning of another. Alright, we're through. I did indeed like the end very much. Very enjoyable game. It had its weaknesses here or there. It did try to give me a huge amount of choice, and for the most part it succeeded. I think the few instances where it didn't succeed in giving me the choice were especially grating because it was succeeding in other points. So I can definitely forgive that. I mean, you just have to... I mean, you do have a budget and you can't develop for any eventuality of what the player might want to do. So I understand that. But yeah, I really did enjoy it. And I think especially that the thought that went into thinking through this scenario, what would happen if evil had already won, and how would a person react to things in there, what would they do, and what choices would they have to make, that has been captured very well. You sort of see that the morality goes no longer between good and evil, but it's between loyalty and fear, between wrath and favor, and between chaos and order. Those are the new lines once evil has won, and this is sort of what separates this game from a lot of others. I really did enjoy this. If you did as well, please leave one last like. I thank you very, very much for watching this with me, experiencing it with me, and I do hope that I see you in one of my other series. Thanks, and bye-bye.